Is this the best golf course yet? Maybe. Stick around, we'll tell you all about it. Welcome back to Subpar Golf Reviews. Today we are in Springboro, Ohio at Heatherwoode Golf Course.
On a beautiful, beautiful Friday afternoon.
Any Friday afternoon where we get to play golf instead of work is beautiful, but the weather was nice today too. This was a very pleasurable round of golf that we played today. This golf course is exceptional.
I can't second that any more than you said. Exceptional. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It's
it
glorious.
Really is. We alluded to the fact that this might be the highest scoring Subpar Golf Review, and we'll get to that later, but I'm pretty confident it's going to be number one before the end of the day.
They had so many fantastic amenities here. I mean, we could go on and on about that. Why don't we just talk about some of those to start out?
Yeah, and we might want to actually categorize these because there are so many. We'll probably forget some since we do this willy-nilly, but we'll do our best to remember the round of golf. Maybe the best place to start is where you begin when you get here, the facilities themselves. Heatherwoode has a beautiful clubhouse. It is amazingly functional. They've got two big areas where you can have events, weddings, parties, you name it. You can rent these places out and have the big bash. They've got an area in the lower level where you can get quick food on the golf course called the bunker. They've got really good food. They have great hamburgers, great brats.
The brats were fantastic.
Bonuses for
We
Heatherwoode.
haven't been here, well, I haven't played here in several years, and I just couldn't believe the improvements that they made.
This has always been an excellent golf course, and the past few years they've made a lot of small incremental improvements that have made it even better. When you first walk in, they've got a full pro shop. They've got all kinds of apparel, all kinds of golf balls, all kinds of merchandise that you can buy. They've got a cool little trophy case with all kinds of mementos from the course. In addition to the fully stocked pro shop, they do a lot of club fitting here. So they've got a really nice simulator area set up with a Foresight GC quad.
Yep.
You can come out and they will get you fitted and get you clubs and get you set up for playing the best golf you can play. That is a really cool feature of this golf course. So if you're in the market to get fitted, this is probably a really good place to do it.
Did you get fitted here?
I didn't.
You took some lessons here, I think, didn't you?
I have taken many lessons here, and if you are looking for golf lessons, this is probably one of the very best places you can come. The gentleman who is the teaching pro here at Heatherwoode is Brad Smith.
The golf doctor.
The golf doctor himself. Brad is an exceptionally good teacher of the game. He's been here for many years. He is phenomenal. He does great work with kids. If you have little ones that are interested in the game, give Brad a shout. Come out and see him at Heatherwoode. He will take very good care of you.
Absolutely.
We will put the link for Brad's website below, so you can check that out and come see Brad and get some lessons when you're here at Heatherwoode. As you venture outside, they've got really nice patio upstairs, which is where we're sitting now.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
They've got a lot of tables downstairs as well where you can sit with umbrella tables and all kinds of good amenities down there. The driving range, in fact, the whole practice facility here is spectacular.
It's one of the best I've seen. And all the reviews we've done, this is the best.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
They've got a full series of mats you can hit from when the weather is crappy. They've got really, really well manicured grass that you can hit from in the summertime when it's warm. They've got lots of greens you can target. They've also got little Springboro signs out there you can aim for. Lots of baskets if you want to work on your short and intermediate game. They've got a huge putting green that you can work on your short game. They've got another green next to that where you can work on your pitching and chipping. I mean, there isn't anything that they don't have here. And this place is actually kind of known for trying out cool new things that are in the market. Two good examples right now. They've actually got a few hitting bays on the range that will automatically load up the ball on the tee for you. That's pretty fun.
That's overkill, but it's awesome.
I've never tried it, but it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. How about those fancy golf carts? Would you call them a cart, or
I don't know. It's like
a trike, or what is
buggy?
This?
I don't know.
It's a buggy.
But it's pretty cool that you can take those out on the course if you're playing. You can drive around and have a good time doing that.
Even the golf cart, the amenities in the golf cart. The screen was amazing.
Yeah, we had Bluetooth audio again.
Bluetooth audio
like
was fantastic. But the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in a golf cart.
I don't think I'd ever
plush.
categorized. It's funny you said that. That was the word I was going to use. I've never categorized a golf cart seat as plush.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Man, it's
you
like,
kind of sunk into it. It was very comfortable.
BMW or
like
Mercedes-Benz of golf chairs.
It was pretty
golf
impressive.
Seats. Yeah.
So
awesome.
Today was actually kind of a special day at Heatherwoode. We didn't know this when we scheduled our Friday tee time, but today at Heatherwoode they have the drive, chip, and putt competition, and it was going on when we got here, and it was really cool. There were so many little kids here, so excited, and it immediately made Javon and I feel really badly about how we play golf.
Yes.
Watching these little kids hit balls and chip and putt. So it was a cool environment, lots of excitement going on. You can see in the photo of the putting green, we had all kinds of kids working on the putting portion of the drive, chip, and putt.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an exciting event.
Lots of fun.
The service here is impeccable. The folks that check you in the pro shop, everybody working downstairs in the bunker, the rangers out on the golf course, the starter, everyone was so friendly today. And they had something cool here that I don't know that I've seen at any other local course.
Tell them about it.
When we checked in with the starter, she said, "Would you gentlemen like a cold bottle of water?" And we said,
we looked at each other and said, "What?
That'd be great." So she gave us 2 cold bottles of water. And she said, if you get thirsty on the course, someone is out there selling drinks, or you can find one of the rangers and they have coolers with more ice cold water.
And it was true.
It was spectacular.
On number 10, there was a cooler stocked with water.
We had a lot of ice cold water today. Complimentary.
We didn't pay for it.
Complimentary.
That's awesome.
Now, before we go too much further into this review and talk about the actual golf course, we should talk about the green fees here. So, knowing that this is one of the premier courses in the area, we were expecting to pay a little bit more.
Yes.
And we were actually surprised at how much more. The Friday rates, which I believe are the same as their weekend rates, were $65 plus $10 for the cart. So we were paying $75 to golf here. That's more than any of the other courses we've played in the area.
We would have paid.
However, they do help you out with that.
Yes.
I happen to live in the city of Springboro, so I got the resident discount, which was great. And then
Pappy Kennedy over here.
the gentleman, Old Man River here, that I golf with, happens to be just barely over the age of 55. But the nice folks here at Heatherwoode have a senior rate that starts at age 55. And it was a significant discount.
I paid $40-some.
So if you are a senior and you like to play really nice golf courses, you should come here all the time.
Not only that, most golf courses start their senior rates at about 60. They start them at 55 here, which is spectacular.
Super nice thing. So yeah, the golf course is a little more expensive than what you might pay to play elsewhere, but with all the cool amenities and the great service and what we'll get to in a minute, the golf course itself, there's still a lot of value there.
There's a great amount of value at this place, no doubt about it.
So let's talk a little bit about the golf course itself, since that's why we're here. 18-hole championship course. It is in immaculate condition. And this is in a time period where we've had all this hot, dry weather.
Right.
We had a little rain in the past week, but based on the other courses we've seen, they're doing a great job maintaining.
They're watering
the
properly.
Greens here,
it's amazing.
They're spectacular. They're the best greens we've played in the area. The tee boxes are all nice and level, and they're in good condition.
The sand.
I actually don't know that I was in a bunker today, but we investigated them, and they are beautiful. They're full. It is nice, fluffy sand.
No rocks.
No rock at all.
And that's unusual for this area. Most
So-
sand traps I've seen have had a little bit of rock in them.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see any rock in the sands here. It's perfect. So, I mean, they've done a spectacular job of maintaining this golf course. And it's a fun golf course.
Yeah.
It has a lot of change in grade. Nothing crazy. We don't have any mountains that we go off like some of the Cincinnati courses we've played. But there's a really nice change in grade.
Very scenic.
You have a lot of we joked about them being moguls. in the rough area. So you can have some very uneven lies, which is, kind of interesting, makes it a challenge. But it's definitely not a flat course by any means. The greens, nothing crazy with the greens. They don't have ridiculous break, but
they're well manicured.
They're well manicured, and they have enough break to keep them challenging, to keep things interesting. So,
absolutely.
It was a good day of putting. They all rolled with great consistency. We played on some other courses recently that the greens were in pretty good shape, but it felt a little inconsistent.
Right.
And look, we're not great putters, but it's easy to putt on greens that are this good at Heatherwood when they roll true from green to green.
Yes.
And I would say that was the case on every green we played.
I'll agree with that 100%. And I also like, speaking of amenities and talking about what's on the course, all of the ball washers had actually a bit of detergent in there.
They were clean and
Which
soapy.
helps a lot when you're trying to clean off a golf ball, when you hit it in the rough or in the trees like I do.
And we've joked in the past about not really needing to clean balls that frequently since we lose them so quickly.
Yes.
But it is nice to have nice, clean, soapy water when you do want to clean a golf ball.
Absolutely.
And they had that at every one. Other things, we talked a lot about the signage when we did our last review. The signage here is really great again. Gives you very clear signals on which way you're turning, where you're going to your next hole.
Right.
And the tee markers are great. They've got pictures of the hole. They've got all the distances information you need. They've also got some kind of cool artwork scattered around the golf course.
They
with
do.
some
You
of the
can
signage.
tell that they really value the presentation of this course. They're not just taking care of the greens and fairways. They want all the little side areas are decorated with flowers and really well maintained and manicured and taken care of. It's beautiful.
The landscaping is great.
Beautiful.
It is a very, very attractive golf course. So we've mentioned all these glowing things about this golf course, and they're all very well deserved. Any negatives that we can convey here?
Not really. I mean, the golf cart has GPS on it, and it does try to keep you safe.
We jokingly call this the nanny system, and we've seen this at other golf courses,
Yes.
especially the nicer golf courses,
Yes.
because they don't want you riding roughshod across the greens and driving where you're not supposed to be driving carts. So they beep a horrendously loud beep on these carts.
Not only
and they lock
do they
you
beep,
out.
they shut down. If you drive in the wrong area, they will let you know by shutting the cart down.
Now, Javon, being the observant guy that he is, noticed on about the 16th hole that on the screen in the carts, they have little yellow dotted lines to show you where you're not allowed to drive. So
I wish we'd had seen that when we first started.
it was actually incredibly helpful once we figured out what that was.
Yes.
So I don't know, maybe the starter can let folks know, like, hey, look at the yellow dots, that's where you can't drive. Because at some point it got a little frustrating because we didn't know
Right.
where we weren't allowed to go, and all of a sudden it would just lock down.
One of the residents told me, just back up, put it in reverse, put it in reverse. It happens all the time, don't worry about it. She
So
was
yes,
real nice.
obviously it wasn't just us.
Correct.
As far as negatives go, I mean, the better courses have that. I think that's just a fact of life these days.
Yeah.
I will say that there are a fair number of homes on some of the holes here.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a stretch of like maybe five or six holes that have a lot of houses. They're not really in play, but if you get a little crazy off the tee, they could be.
Right.
And generally these are nicer homes, so you really don't want to hit them. I will say though that I noticed on number 5. Number
Is that the one
6.
with the ravine?
Nope, beg your pardon, number 6. There are homes all the way up the right-hand side,
Yes.
which, most golfers miss that side, so that's a kiss of death if you build a, $1 million home right there.
Yeah.
I did notice that they moved the tees from the right-hand side well over to the left, so that was probably a great move. I'm sure the homeowners there love that. That helped a lot. Most of the course, though, you don't see the houses at all, which is kind of cool. I'd prefer it that way.
Right.
Understand why there are homes on golf courses.
A few
though.
on the first hole, on the right side, but otherwise
Keep
great.
it generally in play and you're safe. The out of bounds markers are very clear. And like I said, they're not really in play, so just don't go crazy and you won't hit them.
I'm sitting here trying to think of other negatives, and I can't really come up with any, but I did remember a couple of perks that we did not mention. One being, they have these covers for, at almost every hole, that if there's an issue where you have to quickly get underneath to protect yourself from the rain or whatever, you can drive into the shade if you need to. We did that.
That's a cool feature. I haven't seen
Almost
that anywhere
every
else.
hole. We forgot to mention something that was really cool that we saw in the parking lot. Why don't you tell them about that?
Yeah, as we were loading up our clubs after our round, we noticed a couple of charging stations. So if you have an electric vehicle and you're coming out to Heatherwoode to play, go ahead and get a charge while you're out on the golf course. That's kind of a cool little amenity that I've not seen.
First time I've seen
at
that
any
on a
other golf courses again. In fact, they've got a lot of cool stuff here that we haven't seen at any other golf courses.
They're very forward thinking. They seem to stay on top of everything that's the latest and the greatest.
They've got lots of cool events here in the summertime. They've got live music. They've got bourbon and cigar sampling. They actually have a humidor.
They have a walk-in humidor
course.
at this golf course.
The driving range is a cool little entertaining thing in the evenings. They have got some nice Adirondack chairs and umbrellas. You can camp out, and they play music down on the range, so you can listen to some tunes, work on your game. It's just a great environment. I mean, there's really nothing about this golf course that isn't first class.
It's all the way top notch.
So we've come to that point where we actually have to put a number to it, and we have to give Heatherwoode a score. The high water mark so far has been Yankee Trace, which had an 8.5. Now, Yankee's got a couple of things that Heatherwoode doesn't have. They've got that extra 9-hole course, and they've got the full bay of simulators in the basement.
That's right, they've got 3.
Otherwise, and we've mentioned several of the cool things that Heatherwoode here that Yankee Trace doesn't have. So, I mean, as far as amenities, it's probably a wash. I think I enjoy this golf course more. I think it's a little more challenging. There's a little more variation in grade.
Right, I was going to say that.
It's
a lot
not
more
as
variation.
flat, for sure. I mean, Yankee's still a top golf course. It wins awards every year. But if forced to compare the two, I think I like Heatherwoode a little bit more.
I like Heatherwoode personally a lot more.
Okay, so considering
senior rate aside,
they hooked you with the senior rate, huh?
You got me with the senior
All right,
rate.
old timer. I know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to put a number to this. So what are you thinking, considering that Yankee was numero uno at 8.5?
I'm thinking about 9.
Whoa! Holy cow!
I'm taking it there, brother.
I think we got to leave ourselves a little bit more room. We're probably not going to actually do any reviews of country clubs. We're just kind of keeping this to the public courses. We'd still love to play every private course, because that was the endeavor, was to play every golf course in Southern Ohio. But we'll probably just do reviews for the public courses.
Correct.
If we're going to say that Yankee was an 8.5, I feel like maybe like something a little under 9. Maybe like I'd meet you like part of the way and say like an 8.8.
Okay. I'll go 8.8.
You willing to come down a little?
I'm willing to come down a little bit.
What if they didn't have the senior rate? What if you'd paid 75?
Then I would be more like an 8.6.
So still just a smidge better than Yankee Trace.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean,
that rate's a big deal, man.
it is expensive, and we appreciate people have budgets, and
Sure.
playing golf is a time commitment, and heck, you've already spent money on clubs and golf balls and lessons and
After
shoes,
all, I'm a
and
seenor now.
you are a senior. But we appreciate the value aspect. That is important, and this is an expensive golf course to play.
Sure.
But there's so much cool going on here. I think 8.8 is
That's
a fair score.
That's a fair assessment. I agree.
All right. Well, we appreciate you watching. Come on out to Heatherwoode. Enjoy all the awesome amenities they have here. Come see Brad Smith and get a lesson. Work on your golf game. Until next time.
Till
Cheers.
next time. See ya.